a bit of a del there on Thursday morning, aren't we? Debbie's still here, and look, she's just scoffing on a milk coffee biscuit.
Oh, it caught me.
And we've just had Ryan from the Greens, the local representative for the Greens in the upcoming by-election in Secret Harbour, and we're trying to get all the candidates in, and we have, and it's really hard. It's really easy for me now, because not only have I seen his post with the Rockingham Rams Football Club, and even if I did forget his name, he's got it proudly on his jacket there.
That's very
Ryan
helpful.
Robertson, good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners. Thanks so much for having me.
That's great. Okay, I asked the same question to Rieke. Why?
Why? Great question, and I think it's pretty similar sentiment across all of Secret Harbour, is because no one's listening, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to listen, to work hard, and to deliver for the people of Secret Harbour. That's my goal.
What do you see as the major issue for people in because you live relatively local?
Yeah.
What do you see as the major issue there, Ryan?
I think everyone's struggling in their own right, whether it's from a financial cost, at the Bowser, whether it's shopping, food. We're none of us are exempt from that cost of living pressure, but then also infrastructure. And I know it's a throwaway word for politicians, but if you look at north of the electorate and south of the electorate, you've actually got quite a significant investment of services to those that live in those areas. But then you come down to Secret Harbour, and Rockingham falls into this as well. You just don't see it, and there's lots of promises. There's lots of virtue signalling, if you like, but there's really no delivery on it, and that's what I really want to push on. And typically, in a safe seat, money doesn't get put towards those areas, because why would it be, right? If something's working, why change it? And for too long now, this government, this Cook Labor government, has just had the monopoly. And why would you invest? So I want to challenge that. I want to be able to show them that we are here, we are affected, and we want some support. You did tell us off air that you're a proud father of three girls. Mate, yeah.
They get looking younger all the time to me. Ryan looks about 24, 25.
Well, I shaved this morning, right? And my wife said, "Oh, Ryan, please don't shave. You look too young." But I just can't help it. 12 years in Navy. If I don't shave in the morning, I really feel like a bit. I feel like I haven't showered, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't help because sometimes people often say, he's not even old enough to wipe his bum, So, but no, I try and grow it out sometimes, but my comfort zone is if I shave it, I feel like I'm ready for the day.
Right. I just wanted to pick up something you said there. 12 years in the Navy.
Yeah, that's right, mate. So joined at 7, or just 18 actually, by 10
Wow.
days. Grew up in Melbourne, joined the Navy. At the start, it was as a bosun's mate. I was watching this show at the time called Sea Patrol, and I really liked it. And I thought, I could really do that for a job. So I went onto the Defence Force recruiting website and I had a look at the jobs, and I found bosun's mate, and that they sold it really well. You were jumping out of helicopters and small firearms specialists, and I thought, this is great. And I signed up. And it wasn't quite what they said on the advert, but still good experience. And then it wasn't until I was in that I was sort of questioning, what do submarines do? I'm really interested. And the more you ask that question, the less information you got, because they call it the Secret Service for a reason. Everything that a submarine does is very covert. There's no medals, there's no accolades. Once you dive and go beneath the surface, it's not until you return that you realise that the submarine's been gone for quite some time. And that was fascinating to me. So then I put my application in 2010, and took about 3.5 years to get qualified.
To be a submariner.
Yeah, it takes quite a while.
Are you tall?
No, I'm not. 176 centimetres, so probably quite short.
Oh, it's quite nice and tall, but it's not like 6 foot.
No.
Which would help.
I used to say that I'm the perfect height for a submariner, because my head would just touch the bulkhead, just with my hair.
Wow.
But yeah, so anyway, I did that, mate, and it was what a career it was. It took me to places that I would never imagine. I got to work with some of the greatest people and still very close friends. And it's not often that someone can say that they've worked on a submarine, let alone gone away and
Especially for that span of your 20s, I guess.
Yeah.
Through your 20s.
Yeah.
Did you get good amount of time off?
not really. Yeah,
To get some sunshine and...
well, I often have a joke is that I've seen the world, but I haven't. I've seen the water of the world.
Yes,
I haven't really seen a great deal. I've seen a lot of underneath the water. Yeah, not typically, because when you get alongside, you've still got to work. It's not like you'll do a couple of months away and then you'll pull alongside and it's respite. The submarine still needs people to operate it.
Yes.
So yeah, you might be at sea for however long and then get alongside and then you might be duty the next day. So yeah, there's a lot of work.
Did it curtail your 20s social life?
I think it made me
I don't know what
appreciate.
this has got to do with your election coming up, but I'm interested as...
yeah, I think it shaped me better and it made me appreciate things better. So when I did come alongside, just simple things like being with my wife or was my girlfriend at the time, we would never really... I actually think... I'd have to ask Kiara this, but I think for our first sort of 5-6 years of our relationship, we'd only spent maybe a maximum of 2 months together. And
That's
then
a perfect courtship, isn't it?
it's so funny, right? Because my wife said to me, she goes, Ryan, this Navy thing's getting a bit much. Always going away. I think it's time to come home. And then my wife fell pregnant. And
It's
then
definitely time to come home.
yeah, and it was funny. So all this time in Navy, she was like, Ryan, you need to come home. You need to come home. And then I left Navy, and then she's like, yeah, I just want to miss you again.
But she's like,
He's always around.
Yeah, so
Underfoot.
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's true. So you're about 30 now? Is it?
35.
35.
Yeah, I know. I get grey hairs, receding hairline. It's not looking good for me. Let me tell you.
What's your job now?
Yeah, so currently I run a small consultanting business and I also sell property. I
Right.
work for Multiply Property Group. They're a West Australian family and we run subdivision sales, buyers agency.
In this
Yeah.
locality, in the
Yeah,
Rockingham
that's right, yep.
locality.
Yeah,
And you're called to civic duty,
right.
as in you're a councillor at 35,
Yes.
and that can be quite a commitment.
Yeah. Well, it's. I think if I didn't work in real estate, it'd be quite challenging to fulfil the duties of a councillor.
Being flexible.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of it's a lot of after hours work, which then with a family, 3 kids and a wife.
You're
Obviously,
busy. You're a busy boy.
Very busy. Yeah. So trying to juggle that is difficult, but I think if I can help the community, which I've always been a big fan of doing, and like you mentioned before, you see me down at the Rocco Rams. I'm a sponsor of many clubs, because I've got a genuine passion for supporting community sports, and I had a lot of support growing up as a kid. So
In Melbourne.
yeah. So if I can share that same, I guess return that favour that was
Yeah.
given to me through support.
And
I'd like
what
to do
brings
that.
you to this locality? Your Kiara, or
That's right. Well, initially it was Navy.
because
Because submarines are only based out of Western Australia.
in naval base, I guess.
Yeah, HMAS Stirling, right? So I lived
Yeah.
on HMAS Stirling for a bit, and
Oh.
funny enough, I met Kiara pretty much as soon as I got here at the Swinging Pig. Funny enough.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So I met my wife at the Swinging Pig, and we've been together ever since I've been in Western Australia. I love it here. I
Well,
really do.
lucky to have
it
you
is,
here.
It is. It's still a hidden secret, Rockingham, without a doubt. It's it used to be a holiday place, and now because it's a strange thing, just as you grow, and the suburbs grow, it's always been the same distance from the city. But now with the suburbs like Secret Harbour and that going further out, people think it's actually closer than it ever was, but it's the same distance.
Well, I remember when I first moved here, mate, driving down, because we used to surf in Secret Harbour all the time. Anyway, so with the boys and I would leave base. We had Red Wine. Who sings that song? Red Wine.
UB40 on the
so
diamond.
that was our song. So we would listen to this in the summer. We would go surfing, and then after surfing, we'd get some KFC and come home. And it was just felt so good. In your 20s, you feel like you've got all this freedom in the world. And driving down to Secret Harbour. But I remember that drive was quite. there was a lot of bushland. There wasn't
Yeah.
much there. Lakelands wasn't there, and you go down there now, it's unbelievable. mate.
Lakelands is because you obviously go down the main drag, Ennis Avenue or whatever it is, or
Yes.
the Mandurah.
Yes.
And if you ever go to the left past the shops, it's just like a whole new
Yeah.
world, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's
is.
beautiful.
My mum lives
Yeah.
in Meadow Springs,
Yeah,
and
I was down there yesterday.
that has just grown and grown
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
grown
yeah,
yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
So okay, we had some questions, and we'll just fire them at them.
Yep.
For Ryan, the first one: will motorboats be banned in the state-controlled Shoalwater Marine Sanctuary to minimise the penguin strikes? There are less than 97 individual penguins on the island.
Yeah, we've been hearing this a lot through the local government forum. I haven't heard much about this at the state level, especially through my door knocking and speaking to the community.
Yeah.
So I don't really have an answer, to be honest.
Look, that's better
yeah.
than spinning a whole lot of.
Well, look, one thing I was taught from a very young age was that if you don't know something, you say it.
Yeah.
And then, you can go maybe find out. But, I'm not going to sit here and
No,
pretend I have
that's-
the answers
look,
because I don't.
I mean, I think everybody cares about it, but it's one of those things, isn't it? I think personally, it's a very important thing for Rockingham or the area around it, but there's so many other things that people are concerned about with the homelessness and cost of living that tends to push that down the ladder, unfortunately. But that's the way it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone has, and rightfully so, their own conflicting priorities. But in this instance, I don't have really much more I can give you
Fine.
on that. I don't know, mate, to be
Okay.
honest.
The next one: what can be done to improve mental health in the area? What are some of your thoughts on an 18-hour to 24-hour GP type clinic in Secret Harbour to take some emergency off the Rockingham Hospital?
Yeah, so the GP clinics it's a federal issue, but the problem with state government is that they've had 10 years and plenty of money to really get into this. From a mental health side, I've got lived experience with mental health. When I left Navy, I wasn't in a very good way, and I'm very open and honest about it. It's, mental health is such a strange thing because we all feel like we're immune to it until it's got us, and then when it's got you, it's a different ball. I remember sometimes, mate, not even being able to get out of bed because I just wasn't fit enough to be able to deal with what was about to hit me for the day, and it come out of nowhere, mate. It come out of nowhere. So, look, I'm a strong advocate. I work closely with a lot of veterans, and I am more than willing to be vulnerable about the topic of mental health because I think that that's the biggest challenge with anyone that might be suffering personally, is that you're not alone. There is plenty of us that are ready to wrap our arms around you and give you that support. It's okay, and it will be okay. You just have to keep pressing forward, think about tomorrow, and everyone around you, they love you and they care for you.
Oh, it's very, isn't it? You see, we sit here, Debbie, and we have a bright, enthusiastic, intelligent person in front of us as Ryan. Now, I would say in my head, that would be one person who never suffered mental health. Just the way way he presents.
Yeah.
So it shows you how hidden it can be.
Well, look,
how vulnerable we all are as well.
of course, yeah. Well, none of us are immune from any of this. And if we look at the homelessness crisis as well happening on Memorial Drive, I'm under no illusion that I'm only one poor financial decision or one bill that comes that destiny is not mine. So. It sort of winds me up a little bit, right? Because it gets politicised a little bit. But what's crazy is that we have so much money to spend on other things, and then that money is quickly diverted. But then when we want to sort of create some sort of political show about something, that's people. They're people, So, look, it's tough.
Can I ask you what led you to become a Liberal?
Yeah, I've got a real Liberal background from my dad. My dad was a small business owner, mechanic. My mum, a bartender.
Yep.
And, we've always lived by the philosophy of government should get in, do what they should do and get out. Get out of the way. And what what the core message to that is, government's responsibility is to support its constituents, give them all the resources in abundance that they need to live a prosperous life. That's my view. Outside of that, allow people and encourage people to give them the opportunity to live a good life. If they can generate wealth and work hard, keep that wealth. Don't tax everything. There's a great saying that I heard, and I can't remember who said it, but if we're going to pass another law, remove an old one. You know what I'm saying? This we're just constantly always just doing more and more things that are making things more difficult. Let's get back to basics, focus on the things that matter, and help the people in our community, and get out of the way.
Here we go. Your thoughts. This is sort of like I didn't write, for all those people out there in listener land, this is not a loaded question. Just because Ryan spent a number of years in the Navy, this is not a loaded question, but it was sent in by a listener. What are your thoughts on AUKUS?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I always like to counter this question with what part of AUKUS? Because
that's a good question.
Well, there's a few parts, right? There's the delivery of nuclear propulsion submarines. There's quantum computing with Pillar 2. There's shared technologies. There's shared intelligence. There's a vast
question.
Yeah, there's a vast thing to AUKUS. But I think if I read into the question correctly, we're talking submarines. And look, I'm a big supporter of AUKUS, and I think I know I'm saying it from a perspective of national security, and I know this deeply, and I know what Collins gives to the Australian Defence Force is good, but it's ageing, and we need to look into the future on how we best protect the national interests of Australia. It is my view that we should have a lethal, formidable, fighting submarine force that is ready at a moment's notice to deploy to protect the interests of Australia. There is two straits that come to Australia, typically, is the Malacca Strait and the Sunda Strait. A lot of our trade comes via sea transportation, and we're a nation surrounded by water. There are a few vulnerabilities. Although we don't have neighbouring countries like you see in Europe, but what we do have is a vast amount of water that surrounds us that needs to be protected to ensure that we're not put in a situation where we might find in other places of the world right now where tariffs and strongholds can be put on major trade routes, and that will cripple the economy of Australia. We are limited in our supplies in fuel. We are limited in resources that we have because we are heavily reliant on imports and exports. So it is my view that having a force that can be deployed and act as a deterrent to any adversary that wishes to do harm to the national security or to the people of this great nation, then we should have that ability to be able to defend ourselves and to defend the best interests of all Australians.
That's very well said.
Well answered.
Wow. We had, just as an aside on this topic, I've had Mark Schneider from his...
UBH?
Yeah.
Don't know Mark. Very good guy.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Geez, isn't he a smart cookie?
Well, he's a nuclear engineer. He's got over 20 odd years of experience within the nuclear industry. He's really good. And the great thing I like about Mark is that he is apolitical. He never comes on any radio station, podcast, whatever it might be. He's not talking politics, he's talking facts.
And it's interesting.
It is interesting, mate, because this is all new to us, right? So we can totally understand how there's some concerns around it, because, when you say nuclear, what's the first thing someone thinks of? Chernobyl. They think of nuclear disasters, they think of nuclear war. We're talking, in AUKUS, we're talking specifically about a propulsion train that is nuclear powered. One charge, you've got 35 years of fuel.
Yeah.
35 years. That's unbelievable. But not just that, the difference between a nuclear submarine, a nuclear powered submarine, and a diesel conventional submarine is that you're limited in speed, fuel, and duration, where the only limiting factor for a nuclear powered submarine is food. They can stay at sea for 35 years if they wanted to. God forbid if you're a crew member on that. No, I'd be 70 by the time I come home. You know, and then you've got to look at that from an operational side. So a conventional submarine has to come up to periscope depth. It has to raise its masts and periscopes to start the diesel engine so it can suck up air from the atmosphere into the boat to charge the generators. The generators then charge the batteries. The batteries then provide power to the main motor, and the main motor is what gives you propulsion. Well, to do that, at periscope depth, you have to be taking things into account: sea state, wind direction, waves. Is there any airborne targets that are on station that might be trying to look for you from a visual detection point of view? As soon as the mast and periscope's up, you've now got a radar cross section. So there's a lot of vulnerabilities that come with trying to remain undetected, which is the sole purpose of a submarine. And then you put in, MPAs, drones that it makes it really difficult for us to achieve the aim. Plus, like a phone, if the more you use it, the more the battery drains. So if we need to get somewhere quickly and we need to go fast, that's putting a lot of pressure on the batteries because I'm draining so much energy. All of a sudden now I need to stay at periscope depth. Well, if I'm discharging more than I'm charging, well, now I've got to stay at periscope depth. If the weather's no good, there's so many factors. Yeah. You give us a nuclear propulsion, I have infinity speed, I have infinity fuel, and I can get to where I need to be quickly, and that's good.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, isn't
Very.
it? Yeah.
Very.
The final question that we had, will the candidates take homelessness seriously and provide housing together with a mentor to each person to offer support?
Yeah, very good question, but a hard one to answer. So what we need to focus on is that these are people that need help and they're vulnerable. We need to take this seriously. Do I have all the answers for you right now? No, I don't. But what I can say is that we do have a current government with a lot of cash that could be utilising and directing resources that way, and they're not. We need to take this seriously. We need to get and look after these people because it's disgusting. I was down there with my kids the other day, obviously not trying to make it a political stunt. So it was just me and my kids, and we went for a drive. And I said, "Look, girls, like this is so real. This exists in our backyard. So when we go home and have dinner tonight, and we've got the heater on, here's an example of how these poor people are living. It upsets me, mate. I went down there again this morning, and I counted 52 individual sites.
52?
52 individual sites, and it's increasing. I don't have the answer for you. I don't have the power. But hey, I tell you what, as long as I've got a voice, I'll continue to fight.
It's it was a bit of a double-edged sword. We had somebody, we ran about a month of talking about this homelessness subject with everybody from Brad Pettit, who's done a lot of good work in Fremantle and that, and which is great. But them and a whole lot of advocates here, there, and what I found strange is Rockingham has one of the largest amount of homelessness in the state, but people come here because there are a lot of services for homelessness. So they actually, it's like bees to a, bees to a, so it is a catch-22, isn't it? You want to provide more services, but then you'll get more homelessness. So it's like, where do we get that? Where is the circuit breaker for that?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So, Ryan, if I think we've just about just about the same time as we gave the other candidates. So a couple of things. How do we contact Ryan Robertson if we want to? People want to ask questions.
Yeah.
Have you got? It sounds like a tour date, doesn't it? Have you got any tour dates? No. You got any places like some people go to shopping centres?
Well, mate, tomorrow I'll be down at Chalk and Bees, which is a awesome little cafe down in Madura Bay. So I'll be there from 9 o'clock tomorrow if anyone wants to come down and ask any questions.
Yeah.
Mate, I'll be the rest of today. I'll be down in Secret Harbour, door knocking, speaking to people. I did it for 4 hours yesterday, and we're going to try and get at least 6 hours in today.
Jeez.
And mate, we'll be just doing that across the whole electorate.
You have a team? A team of you?
No, it's me. It's just me at the
you?
moment. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. I've obviously got a team supporting me, and
Yes.
I'll have a few special guests coming with me on the doors. But this is very much a Ryan-led, forward-facing movement, if you'd like. But I've got a very strong team behind me and a lot of support.
And a lot of people your age,
Yeah.
like younger people
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the constituent.
Yeah. We've got an enormous amount of support, and a lot of people reaching out too. But we've all got jobs. I'm trying to run a business and run a campaign at the same time.
Door knock.
And door knock. So it's I don't have the beauty of just taking 6 weeks
No,
off work.
well, it's a big 6 weeks, isn't it?
I've
coming
got
up.
kids to feed.
Yes.
But no, yeah, it's we're gonna. I said this to someone the other day. I don't believe there's going to be any candidate in West Australian history that's going to cover more electoral ground than I am. I'm here to work. I'm here to listen, and I genuinely want to deliver for the people of Secret Harbour, because it's something that I feel like for far too long now, this hasn't happened. Carnup train station's a perfect example. I was at Lakelands train station yesterday picking up a friend, and if anyone's been there, there's hardly any parking. And then if you're unfortunate, you miss the parking at Lakelands, you drive to Warnbro. But if it's after 7, there's no parking, and then you got to get onto the Kwinana Freeway and sit there. It's really, really challenging, and things need to change. And the only way we make that change is by stepping up to this current government and showing them that we are sick of being ignored, and it's time that we start pushing back and getting the resources and infrastructure that this community deserves.
Just a quick question before we go. You've done door knocking, I think, for 4 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
Have you got any feedback of the major complaint, for want of a better word, major concern that people have?
Yeah, they're frustrated. They're sick of being ignored. That is what I'm hearing door after door after door, is that they're frustrated with feeling like they're the second cousin in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's we're not getting anything that this community deserves, and it's evident. Go down there.
Yeah.
Go down there. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to be able to see that this has been such a safe seat for so long. And the only way we change that is by letting the Cook Labor government know that we're here, we're ready to work, and we're going to fight for the people of Secret Harbour.
All right. And if people want to contact you, Ryan?
Yeah, mate. So my email, ryan.robertson at waliberal.org.au. Ryan for Secret Harbour. That is my handle on social media. Yeah, feel free, reach out. My number's actually publicly available because I'm a real estate consultant, so that's not ideal. But yeah, feel free. Reach out. I want to hear from you. This is not. I don't want to just be doing media controlled setups. If you see me in the street, say hello. I'd love to hear from you. I might not have all the answers, but hey, I'm here. I'm listening, and I'm ready to work.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Ryan.
Thank you for
Have a
having
good
me.
and best of luck with your door knocking this afternoon.
Yes, thanks, mate.
And I will see you at the Rams home game in the future.
Yeah, all right, buddy.